Hello everyone, my name is Jolene Work. I am a founding Canadian affiliate for Tori Belle Cosmetics, and I am going to show you how to apply our new Element Liquid Foundation and Concealer. This stuff is incredible. It's a lightweight, full coverage foundation, which is my new favorite. So I thought that I would show you how I personally apply it. The things that you'll need to apply it are a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, so you run it under water and squeeze it out, or a foundation brush. You can use either or your fingers, which I like to apply it first just to spread it on with my fingers, and then I blend in with an applicator. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a primer first. Priming is important because it helps your foundation settle onto your skin really nice and evenly. It doesn't settle into your fine lines and wrinkles and goes on smoother and helps it last all day. So this is our P3 primer. So I'm going to go on and just put that all over, dot it all over. Usually I would let my primer set for about 10 minutes, but because we're doing a video today, we're just gonna blend it in and get going. So if you find that you have really oily skin, this primer may not be for you. It has a lot of moisturizing in it. And so if you are normal to more dry skin, this primer is great, but you can use whatever primer you have will work fantastic. So if you can see, I have very red skin, red and blotchy skin, and I found this foundation just really evens out my skin tone. That's one of the things I love about it the most. So I'm using the shade 130, which is actually a little bit dark for me. Though shade 120 is probably my shade. So I'm going to get the 120 and I'm going to mix it with the 130 eventually, and that will be a perfect shade for me. This is more my summer shade. So if you can hear, it's quite liquidy. So you want to give it a really good shake to mix the product up. And what I do is I'm not going to open it with it facing up. Down, I'm going to turn it up so it's facing up because it is very liquidy. So it's literally going to drip onto your fingers. So I'm just going to let it one drop go. And I'm just going to start dabbing it all over my face. You don't need a lot. You don't even need to squeeze it. You just tip it and the product will come out for you. So I'm going to just do the half of my face and then I'll do the other half. And like I said, for me personally, I'm going to put the lid on so it doesn't spill. I'm going to rub it in with my fingers first, and then I'm going to buff it out with my beauty blender or my kabuki brush. So the reason that I personally like to use fingers, I know for a lot of ladies that are into makeup, fingers are a no-no sometimes, but with the consistency of this foundation, I find it just goes on so nicely that I like to just spread it out with my fingers. You can each to their own, and then you can blend it how you'd like. If you want to use a brush, use a brush. If you want to use a beauty blender, use a beauty blender. So already it's so lightweight, you don't feel like you're wearing anything. So I'm going to take my beauty blender and just kind of press it in. It just evened out that redness that I have and blotchiness. It's just kind of given me a nice complexion. This foundation is also buildable. So if you're wanting some more coverage than the first coat gives you, you may absolutely add more. So I'm going to give it a shake and I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to show you our concealer. So again, I'm not even squeezing it. I'm just going to let it drip out. So like I said, it's a little bit dark for me right now. Once I get some sun and some tan on my skin, it's going to be perfect. All right. So again, just gonna spread it on with my fingers. You want to bring it up. And I'll buff it out with a kabuki brush on this side. But you're going to find what works best for you. I have very dry skin as well, so that's important to note. And this foundation is so moisturizing as well. It has bilberry oil, so it's very moisturizing, hydrating. There we go. I'm going to just use my kabuki brush and I'm just going to press that in, blend it down my neck. Make sure it's all even. Now, if you're wanting to contour, you can get a darker shade in the foundation or in the concealer. So there we go. Nice, glowy, lightweight. Doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything on my skin, which I love. It's gotten rid of all that red blotchiness. And now we're going to do the concealer. So I always do my concealer after my foundation. With the concealer, if you're wanting to conceal things, so if you're wanting to hide any blemishes, age spots, any imperfections in your skin, you're going to want your concealer to match your foundation shade. If you're wanting to brighten, you use a lighter shade. So this is the shade 10. This is as light as you can go. So again, you have to give this a good shake because it is more of a liquid consistency. And I'm just going to drop it on my finger and I'm going to just place it where I like to place my concealer. Everybody's going to place theirs in different spots. This is where I like to place mine for brightening. Oops. And again, if you're wanting to conceal, you're going to use a shade a little bit lighter, or I mean, the same as your foundation, sorry. If you're wanting to conceal things, hide fine lines, imperfections, acne, age spots, you can match your concealer to your foundation. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking my beauty blender and I'm just going to start pressing it in and bringing it up. And like I said, my beauty blender is damp. So you don't want to use a dry beauty blender because it will soak up your product and you don't want it to do that. So I'm just trying to brighten under my eyes. I'm going to bring it up so that give me a little eye lift. And you want to be really gentle around the skin around your eyes. It's very sensitive. So just gentle. And then because I don't have a dark foundation yet in the liquid or the concealer, I'm going to use my pressed powder, or my Elements pressed powder foundation here. I am going to show you. So this is the pressed powder foundation, the wet to dry. I'm going to use the shade 140 to do a little bit of contouring, just because, like I said, I don't have the darker in the foundation yet. So I'm just going to do a little contour with our pressed powder. And even the 140 in the pressed powder is lighter for me, but I'm going with what I have. So if you need to be color matched or anything like that, we all have little tricks to help with color matching, to find out if you're warm tone or cool tone. So that's also amazing. So I'm just blending out my contour. You want to blend up. These are the new brushes, by the way, which are incredible. When you're blending in your forehead, you want to blend into your hairline. And then I like to just take a beauty blender and just extra blend down your neck. There we go. So look at that, like it just flawless. I'm telling you, I'm going to add a little bit of blush. This is my favorite blush. This is our Coral blush. And a little bit of highlight, and then you're done. This is actually one of my favorite brushes. You can use it for blending, blush, anything. It's awesome. So soft. Okay, a little bit of highlight and we're good to go. So I'm going to use the highlight out of the 24K palette. And I'm just going to add a little bit to my upper cheekbone. And that just gives you a really pretty glow. Cupid's bow. And there we go. You are done. The look is finished. This is a little bit of our Blush Ignite. When you're using this, I recommend overlining your lips a little bit because a lip plumper is an irritant for your skin, and it's really good because it irritates that skin above your lip, which gives you fuller looking lips. So I'm just going to, I always have to take a cloth and clean off my little jewelry, but that's it. So everybody will find a way that works best for them. This stuff is amazing. My new favorite, all-time favorite foundation. Like I said, you can use a foundation brush, you can use a beauty blender, you can use your fingers. It's so versatile. You can use whatever works for you. So I highly recommend everybody gets it. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. You can share it with anybody that you feel this would be helpful for. So